Welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be using a ZVS driver and two different types of flyback transformers, and then maybe at the end I'll see if we can put them in series or try to do that. Okay, so this is the input of our driver here. As you can see, for this driver here, the input is right here. You can unscrew it and attach it to a power supply. Mine is, I got it off eBay, and it's rated for DC 12 to 36 volts. And the output you hook up to the primary, the flyback transformer, which are these two inductors. I measured the voltage at 24 volts input here, and measured it out here, and it was 50 volts DC still, with no flyback transformer attached. That's because the circuit was not oscillating, because it needs these two inductors, which is the primary of the flyback transformer. So let's get started here, and these are so this is the driver we're going to be using. Little stands, everything soldered up nicely. The three connectors here for the flyback transformer, and the two connectors here for the input. For the input, I have this adapter here from an old laptop power supply. You can see there. And then what we want to do is make sure that we have negative hooked up to negative and positive hooked up to positive. For this one, the white wire in the middle of the adapter here, that is our positive, and the one that's cased around is the negative wire. And those, you just line them up, push them into the connectors, then you tighten them on to make a nice, good, solid connection here. So there. Now we're going to be starting off with this flyback transformer, which is from an old tube TV. I've used it in videos before. Just a little bit of burnage around here, kind of going into the transformer a little bit, but that'll be fine for now. Okay, so what we need to do is make sure all the contacts are open and ready to be screwed down onto the thing. So we're going to go one wire at a time. And the way you put these on are important. You need to make sure that the center tap, it's 4 turns, center tap 4 turns. That's what you need, and the center tap needs to go into the middle pin, because the outsides are positive and the middle is the negative terminal. There's 2 positives and 1 negative. There. Now we have the whole system hooked up here. And once you have it all hooked up, you're basically ready to use it. I'm going to take extra little bit of wire here. And pop the wire onto there. Oh, that's not working very well. I'm just going to start that quickly. The wire strippers to the side. There you go. So I stripped off a nice amount there. And I'm going to push this wire through and just do a simple kind of twist connection. And then this little wire, this part here, is the high voltage out of it. But I snipped that wire off a little while ago, so it's not there and all perfect. But it'll do still. It'll do. Now I'm just going to take my screwdriver here and nicely wedge, if I can get it in there. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to get in there. I'll just go like that. That'll be fine. Okay, so we'll plug in our adapter, and we should hear hissing, slight hissing. I'm not sure if you guys are able to hear that. But we'll bring the wire close to the output. You can see there, we have our arc. It's a pretty hot arc, as I'll be able to demonstrate here. What I'm going to do to demonstrate that is, well, I don't really need to do much to demonstrate it. But what I'll do is I'll take a thin piece of wire, from an old wire or piece of electronics, and tie it around there nice and tight. And you always want to make sure you discharge them because they can hold a little bit of charge. And I'm just going to twist it around there. This is unplugged, so that's why you're able to touch it. But always discharge and make sure it's unplugged before you touch it. And we're just going to stick that thin little piece of wire up. Now, we'll turn it back on. You can see the wire will be getting darker. You can see it kind of glowing there. Oh, melting the wire here. You can see? Okay, so I have that flyback transformer, and I also have a second one here. And the cool thing about this is that the MOSFETs barely heat up. The heat sinks are still cold. Yeah, we just unscrew it, and the flyback transformer is cold, and so is the core. So that haven't heated up at all. Now we have this flyback transformer here. This one has the high voltage wire here, and a wire soldered down here to the pin that it can connect to so you can draw arcs. There's also a lower voltage, so you get a smaller arc, and it draws a lot of, it'll be high current over here, so it'll temporarily shut off the power supply sometimes, but it doesn't really do that very much. It's only ever happened to me once. So these are, I have them lined up so that you can, it's a more sturdy wire, it's copper wire. So what I'll do is I'll just push them all in at once and put them down. You want to make sure you have a good connection. Like, you don't want them to be just half hanging out. I don't want it to be loose. You want it to be a good tight connection. So you can see it's a nice tight connection. Okay, what we're going to do here next is I'm going to connect that wire there up to the little clip there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get just a little, I'm going to get my chicken stick or high voltage insulating stick. I'm going to clamp the wire into it here so we can draw our arcs. So I will now hook it up and we'll draw the arcs. You can see it's a nice hot arc. So when it burns the wire coating, it's a nice blue. You can see it's a nice blue right now. There's a really nice blue color to that. That's actually really neat. Oh, now it's red. Okay. So now we'll turn that back off for a second here. Discharge the transformer. We're going to take that wire out and give that a break. Now we're doing the tuning wire. This is the wire that connects to another spot at the back of the TV. It's to tune the TV. It's to help tune it from the cathode ray. It's kind of being finicky right now. Maybe I'll just hold it like that. Oh, I will hold it like that. And we'll see what we can get. So you can definitely see the arcs are a lot smaller. But we can get snippets of bigger arcs. I go like that. Well, you can see it's pulsating. If you get close enough, it will stop pulsating and whoo. Turn that off for a second there. Now we'll leave that high voltage wire alone. Come back to this one, but instead of using that high voltage wire, we're going to be using this one here and letting these two arc together. See what the output is. So there's a few different ways that you can get arcs out of this one. It's that line and that line, that line, that line, that line, and that line. So we'll see what we get this time. Like before. Very, very small arcs. It's a lower voltage and the higher voltage because there's center taps. And this is DC. It's has these transformers have diodes at the output to rectify it from AC to DC. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this transformer off and take this transformer here, and I'm going to get a little spare bit of wire. Let's see where I have a little spare wire here. Okay, I got a nice spare bit of wire here, and I'm going to have to snip some of this wire. And we're going to put these in series. And we're going to so I'm going to be cutting the we cut off the wire pieces here, and then we will connect the wires here. Then connect the wire up to here. Once we're done wiring these transformers up, there's longer wires. There's longer wire bits here attached to here, so we'll be able to wire this up to the ZVS driver and this up to the ZVS driver at the same time and see if we can put the outputs in series. But we're going to do that in a different video. So make sure to subscribe to see that video. That will be coming out, and so will the video on my Tesla coil, my giant Tesla coil. I've been working for a long time on it, and I finished the secondary, and now all that is left is just to kind of put it together, and it'll be ready to roll. So that'll be in a video coming out right away, and so will the flyback transformers in series. So, thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.